This is News 6 at 4:30.
First here at 4:30, the inauguration of Barack Obama. He is about to become the most powerful man in America. But today, he grabs a paintbrush.
The inauguration brings a new meaning to the Martin Luther King holiday.
And it started with peanut butter, but now a salmonella scare spreads throughout the grocery aisle. This is News 6 at 4:30. Good afternoon to you. I'm Matt Whitney.
And I'm Carmela Mofisi. In less than 24 hours, Barack Obama becomes the nation's 44th president. On the eve of his historic inauguration, he spent time honoring Martin Luther King Jr. and taking part in community service. NBC's Steve Handelsman has more from Washington.
Thanks and good evening from Washington, where many in the gathering crowd here see a racial message. See as a new era in race and politics. From Washington, I'm Steve Handelsman.
Our thanks to Steve. There's quite a party atmosphere in Washington. From the National Mall to the Capitol, hundreds of people are taking in inaugural sites today. And among the huge crowds are Chicagoans young and old. News 6's Marianne Ahern caught up with them today. She is live in the nation's capital with more. Marianne?
There is definitely an electric atmosphere here. So many worried 11 or 12 years old here. Some never have left the city, let alone get on an airplane. And they're off to a ball at their hotel tonight.
Thanks so much, Marianne. We'll be seeing more of you and Carol coming up later. One man who has been covering Barack Obama from his campaign to his election is the new moderator for Meet the Press, David Gregory. I spoke with him just a short time ago. David Gregory, here we are on the eve of the inauguration. I know you were the White House correspondent before you became the moderator of Meet the Press. Just in my experience as a journalist, I don't remember seeing such a big hype surrounding an inauguration before. Is this a bigger inauguration than what we have seen in the past years?
I think so. I just think there's a level of engagement among the American people that we saw in the course of this historic election and this campaign, and then the first African-American president being sworn in tomorrow. I do think it's just created a lot of excitement around the country, and it's not just his supporters. I think all Americans are quite impressed with what the country has done with this historical milestone, and there's also a tremendous amount of goodwill surrounding Obama as he comes into office, and that's particularly because the problems are so big. So people want solutions. He won a clear victory. He's got a clear mandate coming in, and he's got some big problems to solve.
Speaking about some of those problems, a big one is the economy. We know that will be one of his top priorities. He wants to pass a new stimulus package. Do you think he's going to be able to get that stimulus package passed and get the full Republican support that he needs?
Yes, I think he will. He's got the numbers already in the House and the Senate, but they have a larger goal. They want to get a bigger margin of victory. They'd like to approach 80 votes in the Senate, for instance, which would be quite a big victory. They may not get there. They've got some real challenges, though. There's going to be a lot of questions about how much spending is involved with this package, $825 billion after all, especially when there's a projected deficit of $1.2 trillion this year.
All right, thanks so much, David Gregory, moderator of Meet the Press. We appreciate your time. David Gregory will join Brian Williams live from Washington with full coverage of the inauguration preparations coming up at 5:30. Also, stay with News 6 and News6Chicago.com for complete coverage of the inauguration. And tomorrow we will have expanded live coverage beginning at 4 p.m.
Today, the nation marked what would have been Martin Luther King's 80th birthday. From his hometown of Atlanta to the streets of Chicago, marching and prayer services translated into volunteering and giving back. Our Sharon Wright has more.
With each stroke here at Sherwood Elementary, they are making a difference. Taking time to give back on this day, the thanks of those like Connie Williams. Sharon Wright.
Coming up next at 4:30, the host of the show Top Chef saves the life of an inaugural ball.
And the pilot from the Miracle on the Hudson is getting back on a plane, but this time not in the cockpit.
And that salmonella scare gets even more serious. Now it involves more than just peanut butter. Stay with us.
News 6 in high definition continues with Matt Whitney, Carmela Malfisi, and weather with meteorologist Jake Heinrich. This is News 6 at 4:30. This is breaking news from News 6.
We've got breaking news to tell you about right now. An SUV has been found in a frozen river in Gary. Mike Lorber is live in Chopper 6 with more. Mike, what can you tell us?
And you're looking at the 3300 block of Chase here in Gary, Indiana, where a missing green Dodge Durango is on top of the frozen waters here of the Little Calumet River. This Durango believed to be owned by Arthur and Latavia Joshua. Now, their family filed a missing persons report with the East Chicago, Indiana Police Department. They were last seen on the 10th of January celebrating their anniversary in a bar in Gary, Indiana. Now, we cannot tell this time whether or not the couple is inside that Durango, but I can tell you the Lake County coroner is on the scene along with a lot of police and investigators. We'll have more on this story as it becomes available. We're live here in Gary, Indiana. Mike Lorber.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Now here's a look at some of the stories that we are following at News6Chicago.com. The pilot of the Down U.S. Airways flight will attend tomorrow's inauguration. Sully Sullenberger received the invitation in a phone call from President-elect Obama himself. Crew members aren't talking publicly on what happened just yet, but have released statements asking for their privacy until they are ready to talk. The plane's wreckage, meanwhile, is now at a New Jersey salvage yard. NTSB officials are now saying that a probe into the investigation will take as long as a year, but the lessons learned will be studied for decades. Crews are cleaning up a derailed freight train today in the small town of Grand Park near Kankakee. About 20 cars jumped the tracks last night. Waste oil and flammable alcohol spilled out. Dozens of nearby homes were evacuated for several hours. Officials believe a bad bearing on the train's wheels caused the derailment. And the host of the reality show Top Chef is being hailed as a hero tonight. He saved the host of a D.C. inaugural party from choking. Chef Tom Colicchio performed the Heimlich maneuver on the cookbook author Joan Nathan when a piece of food got stuck in her throat. The party was fundraisers attended by dozens of celebrities.
Coming up, one study is seeing a big spike in Botox injections this week.
And what will she wear? The new First Lady front and center this week. Plus,
you ever seen him cutting his grass or anything like that?
No.
Meet the little boy who grew up next to Obama and the book that he wrote about him. Stay with us. Time now for Health Watch. A salmonella scare that started with peanut butter is spreading by the day, so you should check what's in your pantry. More than 470 people in 43 states have gotten sick with salmonella, and 6 people have died from it. The FDA says its biggest concern is the products that contain peanut butter, not just peanut butter itself. Here's News 6's Nisita Kwan.
How old are you? 2-year-old Ellie loves peanut butter, but her nanny, Jenny Colombe, says she's very at risk are children, the elderly, pregnant women, and those who have compromised immune systems.
That was News 6's Nisita Kwan reporting. A number of food companies have announced voluntary recalls of products. Walmart and Food Line removed bakery items with peanut butter. If you would like the latest recall information, log on to www.fda.gov. That is the government's website. One more note, if you have any symptoms, the sooner you seek treatment, the better. Do not wait. For all the latest health and medical information, log on to our website, news6chicago.com, and click on Health.
Forget the champagne. Botox is the must-have for the inaugural balls. Cosmetic surgeons in the D.C. area are reportedly swamped with the customers looking for anything from Botox, fillers, and peels. Business has tripled in some places, and as you might expect, hair and nail salons are also crowded this week. Yeah, everybody wants to look good.
Yeah, I guess. Well, back here at home, you can put on a pretty face starting tomorrow. Several major department stores will be giving away $25 worth of free cosmetics as part of a class action settlement. The giveaway stems from a 2004 lawsuit charging price fixing.
Yeah, I'll have to get down there. Now to a unique perspective on our next president. It comes from a book written by a young Chicago neighbor of the Obamas. 6-year-old Zenon Miller wanted others to learn about Obama. He did his research, and even the Secret Service assigned to the neighborhood noticed.
He comes out with his spyware on and his costumes, so they know who he is, and they have noted that he is a superhero. And he's protecting Obama. He's on the Obama watch.
You ever seen him cutting his grass or anything like that?
No.
Shoveling his driveway?
No.
He's so cute. Zenon says he wants to be in the Secret Service one day.
Wow, I think he's off to a great start.
Yeah, I'll say. Well, Jake, today was an all-right day. Still a little cold, but nowhere near what we had last week. Don't even.
Wow, 30 degrees, heat wave. Bring out the swimsuits.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Jake.
Imagine that millions of people were wondering what you were going to wear on your big night. That's what's happening to Michelle Obama. Coming up, get a first look into First Lady fashion.
And coming up later on News 6 at 5, Double Take. Meet the Chicago lookalike turning quite a few heads. That's coming up at 5 with Nicole Marks. Man, he really does look like him. We'll be right back.